It's the Coronation edition. We're very excited. And as you can see, Melissa and Lainey are off, but we've got journalist Andrea Bain and radio host Meredith Shaw joining us. How lucky are we? It's not over. That's not done. Your morning host, Anne-Marie Mediwake, joins us live, not from London, Ontario, London, England! Anne-Marie, you've been in London for a few days now. Have you been able to speak with some locals and tourists? And how are people there feeling about the big day?
Oh yeah, we've spoken to lots of locals and tourists. I thought you were going to ask me if I've spoken to Royal, and the answer is no. But we did see some today. But some of the people that we've spoken to, especially the people who are camped out along the Mall, there's Canadians, there's Brits, there's people from all over who want to come and be a part of some of this. It's been so fascinating to talk to these people. You know, I've done several Royal events now, weddings and funerals and Jubilee. But this has a bit of a different feel. This feels like history, and it's also something that people haven't seen before, right? We can relate to a wedding, you know, everybody's been to a wedding, but nobody's ever seen a coronation. So when you go along the Mall and you check in with these people who are in those tents, especially I'm looking for the Canadians, and I found one group, they're two women, they booked their ticket as soon as it was announced that it was happening May 6th. And they were staying in London, and then they were walking down the Mall, and they're like, he's gonna come here. We need to stay here. So they yesterday went out and bought tents, set them up, and then that's where they're gonna be staying for until the coronation.
Wow. That is dedication. Now, I see that the weather is absolutely beautiful, and I don't hear any noise, but we've seen some protests around the coronation popping up. So have you seen anything, heard anything about people who are not so much on the side of King Charles and Queen Camilla?
Yeah, you bring up a really great point. So this is a big story here in London. So very recently they passed laws, anti-protest laws is the way that they're being characterized. And they give police far-reaching powers if they suspect someone of making mischief, that they can stop and question them, search them. People aren't allowed to chain themselves to anything. They aren't allowed to throw anything. And again, they can be charged and be arrested. There is a planned protest. This is known. It is by a group called Republic. Here in the UK, they're called Republicans. There is a planned protest where they'll wear yellow shirts in Trafalgar Square. They'll hold up signs that say, "Not my king," and police have said they are allowed to do these protests. What is not allowed is anybody being disruptive, because, you know, then that means the police will come, and it's a distraction from what's happening in the day. And of course, you know, where there are cameras, and there are cameras all along this route to broadcast every moment of it. They're going to be looking for cameras. They're going to be looking to get their message across, and police have promised those people will be dealt with swiftly.
Wow. Okay, Anne-Marie, let's talk about the procession route. Is there anything you can tell us about that route that the King's going to be taking tomorrow?
Yeah, so it actually starts at Buckingham Palace, right behind me, and that's where the King and Queen Consort Camilla will leave, and they're going to leave, first of all, in the Diamond Jubilee coach, which has air conditioning, and they're going to travel through Admiralty Arch and past Trafalgar Square and to Westminster Abbey. The ceremony will take place there, and then they're going to take this same route back. And what's been interesting, again, is all these people, and guys, I can see them right from here. They're like 4, 5, 6 people deep at this point. I can also tell you security is really tight. There are sniffer dogs that even came through here this morning. They're checking everything. They're not taking any risks. But these pictures that we're showing now, this is what happened for these people today. This is why you buy a tent and camp out, because the cars came out of Buckingham Palace. They stopped. The King got out, the Prince and Princess of Wales got out. They spent quite a bit of time, actually, along the Mall, talking to people, shaking hands. And, you know, if you were soaking wet, because the weather was crazy here today. It's blazing, beautiful, sunny now, but we had wind whipping up our tents. I got completely soaked from the back. My bag is still wet. My scarf is drying out somewhere. I mean, this weather was nuts, so it was worth it for them to get those handshakes.
Well, you're making it look good, Anne-Marie. One person we didn't see in those photos, though, Prince Harry. Now, we know that he is arriving for a quick visit to attend the coronation, but could there be a last-minute appearance in the procession?
So that is a very closely guarded secret. We won't know until you'll have to watch CTV News special coverage live from 3 a.m. to noon in order to find out.
Talk about a good tease. I like that tease, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, I know that you love to collect souvenirs, and I know you probably bought something. I'm going to put in my order in a second. Have you picked up anything fun? And have you picked up one of those Charles bobbleheads? I want one of those so badly.
I haven't, but everybody seems to. I saw a bunch of them in the store yesterday. They weren't going, but now I feel like I need to go get one. First of all, David Dunkley made me this fabulous fascinator.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to put that in for me now.
Gorgeous.
Isn't it stunning?
That's
We'll
gorgeous.
see a little bit of this tomorrow. Meredith, I know you love to do a good high-low, so I did your high-low.
I do, yes.
So this is from the Buckingham Palace gift shop. This is £50.
Oh,
wow. It has the date. It has the crest. It's beautiful.
Oh.
This is the high.
Okay.
Here's the dupe. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
This picture may or may not have been put on the mug straight. it's 10 pounds. And you can have this one as well. But there's lots of these kinds of things, which are fun, right? I mean, Marilyn, I love, no, Marilyn, why do I keep calling you that? Meredith, I know you love a good Sunny. So
That's what I'm talking about.
I thought you meant like these.
I like that.
Cute.
Yeah.
Those are cute.
Those are really
I love
fun.
Them. Anne-Marie, you were saying earlier, you just reminded us all that you have been a journalist at a royal funeral, royal wedding, royal jubilee, and now at a coronation. Do your nerves get any easier? Softer?
No, but I'm gonna take the silly glasses off if you're gonna call me a journalist, because I can't answer that question with those on. But I will say, I've done 2 weddings. So I did Will and Kate's wedding out at Westminster, and I did Harry and Meghan's, and I did the Diamond Jubilee, and it was here for the funeral, and now here for this. It sort of feels like a full book. And I don't get, my daughter calls it nervous-sighted. So it's more just the excitement of bringing this story to Canadians. You know, I remember watching Valerie Pringle during Sarah and Andrew's wedding. And I remember watching the funeral of the late Princess Diana. And I remember as a Canadian connecting to those stories. And so to be here now and to be able to connect Canadians back to these stories, you know, whether or not you are a fan of the monarchy, everybody's a fan of the pageantry and the spectacle and the history. And so to be able to connect Canada, and you'll see a lot of Canada in this ceremony tomorrow, is something I'm really proud to do.
Awesome stuff, and you're doing such a great job. All right, so I know this coronation is all about the pomp and pageantry, but there's also a party going on. What can you tell us about the performances? Who's performing? Who's there? What's the celebrity gossip? We need to know.
Okay, celebrity gossip. Okay, so we need Lainey there for that. But you know, Katy Perry is going to be there. Lionel Richie, we know, is going to be performing as well. But you know, this was really fun. This morning on one of the British shows in the morning, Dame Joan Collins was on, and so they were saying to her, "Can you tell us anything?" She says, "Well, I've signed all kinds of agreements, but I can tell you this: you're going to see the king in a way you might not have seen him before. He might be doing things you might not have thought he could do, and it might be a bit saucy and naughty." So I don't know what that means.
That's a plug.
Now that's a good tease.
My gosh.
Is that a tune in or a tune out?
No, that's a stay tuned for sure.
Stay tuned. Anne-Marie, thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to watching you tomorrow.
I'll give you my 3 ways to leave.
CTV News will have complete coverage of King Charles's coronation starting at 3 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Set your alarms, everyone. Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.